idea so far.
Lovely. So good morning, folks. Jared Best Mitchell.
Lyndon Bradford.
Sales is a profession, and we are in a different location today. We're actually in Starbucks in South Park. So we did that for entirely important reason. This is to meet with Cassia. We won't go anywhere for anybody. Like if you have to come, like Adrian, you're there, like you had to come. You make Adrian come from Barrapo. He's like, Adrian, like come up with you, okay? No, you're just kidding. But we are very, very excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and the topic I think is very important because a lot of things happened last week and the week before that I think
it's been an eventful week.
Literally pertains to what happens in sales. And I think it definitely crosses in terms of what branding does, and I think you actually merge those two things really well. So just for the audience who isn't aware, just give them a little bit of insight in terms of what you do.
Okay, so I'm Cassia Marina, fondly known as the Branding Queen, and what I do is brand design, web design, and brand strategy, helping business owners take their business online. So even if you have an offline business, it's helping you with the strategies to take your business online and reach a wider market.
Yes.
So even if it's when we say wider market, not just internationally, but also regionally, or to just reach people from one end of the island to the other end of the island, not just in your local area.
Correct.
It's about being effective using technology.
Lovely. And I know one of the big things you push, and that is part of your mantra, is that yes, there's a lot of social media platforms, but you need your own website.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
that is one of your biggest things.
Your own platform.
So let's put some of the things into context here, because I know a lot of you are salespersons here who watch us, a lot of persons are entrepreneurs. It was this week or last week, we couldn't get WhatsApp, we couldn't get Facebook, we couldn't get Instagram.
The whole Mark Zuckerberg network,
gone.
Essentially. But we're not gone, but it was given a lot of problems. Instagram the most.
Yes.
Couldn't post.
Yeah, you couldn't post. Some people couldn't log in. They couldn't interact. They couldn't do a lot of things.
So,
and for some people, it was mayhem. The world was ending. but
it's like,
once you have your website and your mailing list, there's nothing to panic about.
Because it's just one medium down. So like
just
I think I actually posted on it talking about on Karen's blog saying you can't put all your eggs in one social media platform. Like you have to own your own
you have
infrastructure.
to diversify.
And we have seen this because let's talk about what brought about this conversation. This is actually bringing about talking about owning your own infrastructure, as in terms of how you get your message across. And your website is your infrastructure because you own it. You decide how you send out the medium and how you communicate to your clients in terms of getting your sales. So that brings about the entire conversation, which kind of sets things up of what brought us here, which is the entire WePay and PayWise thing. So just to give those a little insight, it was Wednesday at Jack. I know Lizelle, who's part of our comms team, you, I saw Karen there, and quite a bit of others. We were there at the Jack for the whole discussion on digital payments, but it really centered around between technically
what happened on Monday
to PayWise. So it was quite an interesting conversation. But just to summarize it all just led down to somebody not owning the infrastructure. Worse, they didn't invest in anything else. In my opinion, they didn't make any effort.
I found that with PayWise, they did not focus a lot on building their brand identity and visibility.
Right.
So I would say it wasn't that long ago. PayWise has been out since around 2016.
You said 2013.
2013. Wow, I didn't even know about them till 2016.
And that is what shocked people.
And the only reason I knew about them was because of word of mouth.
Yep.
And he continued to work with word of mouth, which we all can attest to word of mouth being great, but it does not help you build a recognizable, visible brand.
Right.
Nope.
And I think it was 2016, 2017, partnering with another marketer to do their marketing for them.
Right.
One of the things in the plan was more visibility. So, when you go to a lot of books, you are bombarded with visuals.
Yep.
Visuals of the Via Payment Network.
I play with chat, the full works.
Right, the full works, bill pay, all these different things. When you go to right there, the drugstore, you see there is the links, you see there is MasterCard, there's Visa. You know, and even though these are established brands, they're not hiding. So much less for a small business owner. I know they were going to come to this. Right, so even though you're a small business owner, as a big business owner, take cues from them because you need people to be able to identify, I can pay at this lotto booth, this is PayWise. You need to be able to differentiate PayWise separate from NLCB. Because more or less what PayWise did, they latched on to the NLCB.
Yeah,
brand.
they were parasites. I mean, it's wrong to use that word, but that's what they position themselves at. And so
that was one of their mistakes, that visibility, because now if they were to find their own network independently, they have to start it
From
all
scratch.
over again.
So you're
from
saying,
scratch.
So just to be clear, because I wasn't there, so I'll be representing those who being filled in. So is it that you're saying that because of the fact that they were piggybacking, because of that particular infrastructure being down or cancelling the backbone that they were structuring on, they kind of left out into the wilderness now?
Yeah. And it just kind of shows.
Because I mean, they have the loyal following, but I mean, from getting new clients, now you have to build your own brand identity.
Right.
Because you can't just go and say you're going to build out your own network from a brand that is not NLCB. Let's say you just go to small business owners. Hey, you could go and pay at that small business.
Right.
You could go to RIAs, and it's like, but who is PayWise?
Right.
People don't really know PayWise as PayWise. They know NLCB. The merchants know PayWise, but the customers don't know PayWise.
Which
People
brings
who
about
are
a good
paying.
point.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
So
the
it's more
people who
about the
actually doing the
customers.
transaction, so that's where you need to
So
make
you
it
have to
build
build that trust, because
Right.
this is money you're dealing
Okay.
with. So yes, you might win the merchants and they know PayWise, but then we the merchants will have a hard time convincing people, well, who's that? Who I handed my money to?
Exactly.
Right.
You know?
So then that was basically taking the easy road in relation to one, understanding, okay, so where's the flow of the customers and the transactions are going to come. But as soon as you have that entity, now you realize, oh, wait a minute, shit, people still don't really know who I am.
they don't know.
Because you didn't really promote yourself towards the people who are doing the transaction as you just said.
Yes.
Correct.
So really and truly you're facilitating one main customer clientele, but you're really piggybacking off of a bigger brand.
And they didn't
Yeah.
do it, they stayed on
just
that
stayed the
particular
same.
platform.
Right.
And then it proved it, because when PayWise made the announcement, and I mentioned it to some people, a lot of people were like, who's PayWise? I mean, we pay. I was like, no, PayWise. So they didn't even build the brand, as you said.
Yeah,
People
they
knew it
weren't
as
building the brand.
LLCB.
He was more focused on one-to-one sales tactics.
Correct.
And in my opinion, that's not the best strategy, because it's money you're dealing with.
Right.
You're not just
Very
selling
correct.
like phones or clothing. This is transactions.
And people
Trust is a big factor.
And that's what I actually wanted to go into, which is the excellent point. So here's my thing. The reason why it's important to build a brand, and I'm talking about individually where people know your name, because
Right,
I've
that's
been to
your
companies
personal
where they said
branding.
they were good with hiring people because they switch from job to job in a particular
Yeah,
sector because
yeah.
people don't know them.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because if you want people to part with their money, building a brand helps you with that trust factor,
Yes.
because that eliminates that particular barrier.
Branding takes away half of the work.
Yep.
People
Even
just
maybe
walk in
even
and hand you
more.
money.
Yeah.
I think it does a great job at selling. So to me, that's why I always see it as a disappointment when persons, and again in PY's case, they don't focus on selling your brand and putting a focus on it and showing people what you do and telling that particular story. And then you run into a long-term problem where you're saying you get issues with customers buying, but they don't know you. And when they finally know you, they don't trust you because they're now meeting you for the
First time, and now you're building that relationship based off of your brand name.
Correct.
So in terms of continuing that same discussion, let's kind of pin it a little bit to ask this question. How would you see sales professionals now being able to use that example towards, let's say, building a brand, going out there towards, really identifying the customers? So it's easy because I've seen salespeople move from one organization to the next, and then they have a good following going with them. So like insurance and other areas, automotive.
Perfect example.
And then you have other instances where you can't even get one person to come with you.
Need to build a brand even more,
need
because it gives you flexibility to move from company to company, because
That's
people
why
are
you
buying
get
into
headhunted.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So I'm listening to the conversation. I listen to the example, and I'll tell you what that resonates to for me. I've seen on many different occasions where a salesperson leaves an organization for whatever reason, and then there's a disclaimer that comes out in the paper that says Lyndon Bradford is no longer part of this organization and has no authority to conduct transactions. Which, if I understand you guys correctly, is something similar that NLCB put out in the paper. Didn't they put out on the paper?
Why is it self-sent out the members?
Oh, so they sent out saying, okay, well, we're not doing this like this.
Yeah, we no longer have our
So
MSCB
it to an extent would have affected their business. However, when an organization, so now when an organization puts out that for a salesperson, it would affect the salesperson's business in terms of that organization. But if the salesperson's brand is out there already and it's already well trusted, that's just it's like water off their back. They just move from one to the next.
Move from one company to the next, because then you are able to take your audience to the next person, and you just now just repackaging what your offerings are and saying, look,
Correct.
I'll organize you with a better insurance plan. Don't worry with that, I'll fix you up, because there's a trust. I don't want to leave my trusted financial advisor or insurance person to go and now build a relationship with a new person just because of the company.
And
I'm going to trust that salesperson who I already have a relationship.
And that's correct. And I think the only way that a well-branded sales professional should really lose his customer base is if he goes into a totally different industry altogether.
Yeah,
Can't leave insurance
So
to do
just
what
want to answer this question Alana is asking. So morning Alana. Alana is asking question. So we're not talking about building the company's brand, but your own personal
own
brand
personal
as a
brand.
salesperson.
Brand,
Yep.
yeah.
Your own. Because the thing is, alright, so for example, everybody knows I do sales, that's my thing. But on the back end, everybody knows I do Samsung.
Right.
Because I don't speak about it directly, but they know of the association because of how much I just speak about sales in general.
Yes.
Right.
So that's what we mean in terms of just building your brand. Because like I always tell persons, like I'm known for two things. They know I like yellow.
Yeah.
They know, because this phone is yellow by the way, I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, I remember.
No, there's a new one.
Oh, it's a new one.
There's a
Another
new
yellow
one.
phone.
So this
Okay.
is the other one here. And then
Okay.
there's the new one. So then, and people know me for like being obsessed with sales. Like,
Right.
so if it is
You're
that
the
you're not,
sales guy and also the LinkedIn guy.
and also the LinkedIn guy now. So yeah, so if you're not building those kind of brands for yourself by talking about stuff within the industry, so like Alana works at Boss, so shout out to Boss, you'll say why after. So if you're at Boss, but then Boss deals with furniture, stationery, the full works, and you build yourself as the brand person to say, listen, anytime you want to get something within those specific realms, that's
That's
the guy
the
that
person.
talks to you that
That's
direction.
correct.
That's what we mean by branding yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you leave Boss and you go to Gold or you go to whichever different
Any-
company that does it,
yeah.
you identify with that particular brand.
And Cassia made a really good point in relation to trust, because again, once trust is a big part of your brand, and you've been able to support customers over a particular period of time, you get to realize it doesn't matter where you go,
Where you
a
go
customer
and
may
what you
actually call you. I mean, I had a
And
customer.
even if you switch industries, it gives you flexibility to go into a new market,
And you
and
leverage.
people will remember,
Yep.
oh, that person is trustworthy in
trustworthy.
general.
Right.
Let's see what they're doing now.
And to just to add to what Jared was saying for Alana,
Yeah.
as entrepreneurs, your entrepreneurial brand, I would like to think, is important. Your company's name, because of course, if you're doing based upon the business that you're doing, if it's business to business or business to consumer,
Right.
Because people ain't going to buy from no quote unquote, as they say, fly by night shady looking organization. And then they normally ask, especially in the business realm, who's the owner? So if it is how you're looking at it from a business standpoint, let's say for instance us being entrepreneurs,
Right.
You guys may not partner with me if I have an untrustworthy reputation out there.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's more than just
Essentially,
the
how I like
transaction.
to sum it up is branding is your reputation.
Is your reputation.
In a
Full
nutshell.
stop. So then let's give some of
What
the
are you
audience
known
what
for?
you let's give to the audience what you think is like one of the key or a couple of the best tips in order to build a brand individually. And what should somebody be doing in any field, doesn't matter if it's just sales, in order to build a brand so they have that general awareness out there.
I'll say show up as much as possible
Right.
with the use of technology, content creation. Put out content, and position yourself as a thought leader and expert on that particular field so that
Sorry, we had when you get this in South Sudan, you don't get this in movies.
oh my gosh.
You don't get this.
I thought
all the sound jabs.
I thought the noise gods helped us because it just shut down, but it
Yeah.
didn't work out.
No. So, and I agree with you. Here's the challenge that a lot of them have, and I think I have to tell a lot of persons to get over it. A lot of persons I meet, I tell them, you need to start sharing your knowledge. Because
Yes.
just Friday, I told somebody that your leverage is your knowledge. And it doesn't matter what level of knowledge,
The
because
thing
it's
is, how are
knowledge and
people going to know
experience.
if you're the expert if you're keeping it
If you keep it to
inside?
yourself, yeah.
People need to know, and how will they know? You have to demonstrate that.
But then a lot of so we will.
And I
at
mean, there are different ways to demonstrate it. So
Correct.
the easiest way is content creation. No matter what channel that you use,
Right.
it's essentially content creation. And then there is getting in the newspaper, writing blogs, getting on radio, having your own podcast. That's content creation. Then attending seminars and guest speaking. You don't have to put together your own entire workshop, but start
Right.
showing up at places,
places,
and
right.
having this covered. And people will start to
Nice.
see that, okay, this person is the expert in this realm.
And that's the question I was going to lead to, because I know a lot of persons who we talk to, when we tell them put stuff out there, they say, well, I can't put myself on video, but there are a lot of other ways.
Yes.
If you're great at writing, write.
Right.
If you're great at telling a story, tell a story. But there are
Find
other
what
ways.
works for you and what you're comfortable with,
Yeah.
because it can't feel like work.
Correct.
You must enjoy it. And if this is your area of expertise, you should be enjoying what you're talking about.
That's correct.
And that's what I give people as a tip. Get over the fear of the actual coming live.
Yep.
Just immerse yourself in what you're passionate about.
That's
Because
it.
when I now started, what helped me keep going and forget and the nervousness to leave
Yep.
is just focus on what I have to say, and then you forget about it because you get so engrossed in your passion.
Correct.
Can we bring it back to when you did your branding event last year, right?
No, it was January.
So January you did your event,
Yeah,
and then
the first one.
I remember you said it was your first one, and it felt so relieved to do it. But again, how much
Yeah,
has
I
that
had
helped you
been
in terms of your
been
brand?
procrastinating for so long, and
Yep.
then I keep telling people, well, I'm not ready. And when I got the opportunity to do it with a lot of encouragement,
Yep.
I was just happy to just get my feet wet with it, and it really just takes doing it once for you to break the ice and keep doing more. And it so happened that because it was so well done, they enjoyed the content, and invited me to do a small seminar. I said, sure, I will do it. Whatever minimum of X amount of people, we can do something.
You see? So then, in the Go Consulting scene, I remember Cassia saying, find your thing, not the thing.
I
And
love
that is correct.
Yeah.
100% agreed. So find what, and the thing is, because everything is so
Because
open now.
it ties back to your why, right?
Yep.
If you are just doing it for the purpose of, hey, this is the next big thing to pop,
Nope.
you're not going to have any consistency, and you're not going to be sustainable. You're gonna burn out. When I say burn out, it's gonna die out because you're just doing it for the sake of making that quick dollar.
Right.
You're not truly passionate about it.
That's when they show these latest
Find
fads, they
your
see people
thing.
jumping from one to the
thing
next.
to the
Yeah,
next.
whoever's the latest fad, you could guarantee to see certain people on it because that's what they do.
Because they're just chasing the dollar.
Correct. But if you build your brand, guys, and that's why I talk about it, and the reason why we actually want to mention it too in particular is because Lyndon and I are working on our conference. That's June 18th, and you mentioned at the end, but we were very fortunate. We got our title sponsor confirmed,
Oh, great.
and the title sponsor literally told us, this just is technically informal.
Formalities,
This just formalities because I know what you guys do, I understand what you guys do, I know your goal.
Right.
And that was important. And I think that's what you need to understand when you're building your brand. And I think because you have so many great tools out here, not just your phone, not just video, but a lot of tools out there to put information out there for free to
Yeah.
build your brand and your awareness. I'm telling you.
It's just a matter of taking the time to you're going to spend either one of two things.
Yep.
You're going to spend time to do it yourself and
Yep.
time to learn it.
That's
or you're
correct.
going to spend the money to have someone else do it for you. And you
Correct.
have to learn how to use these platforms. Even if you have the money, it's good to learn and understand how to use social media, how to go live, how to do a podcast if you're into
Yep.
podcasting or blogging or doing your website yourself. Because all of these tools come together to build your brand online.
Yep.
I think it's the thing with that too. Like for us, after we did, so Jared and I, we had two successful meetings on Friday in relation to sponsorship. And what we did realize is that our presence, all the work that we started to do last year, January, has really paid off.
Yeah.
One, getting the title sponsor. Two, positioning ourselves as subject matter experts in those particular areas. So you may not be seeing the benefit, the immediate
Immediately,
benefit,
yeah.
But you
It
have to
builds.
start in
but
order
you
to
have
see
to
the
be
benefit.
consistent. You know, sometimes there are sometimes people that actually reach out to me. I'm actually surprised because they're coming out of Fort Lauderdale, or he's asking me questions, and I'm saying, but
Yep.
what is it that you saw that positioned you to ask me this particular question? And it
They
comes
follow
back
your
from
content.
exactly, it comes back from something I may have
If you
written in
don't put
July,
it
or a video that they recently saw. So you have to put yourself out there.
Correct. Let's talk about one of the main things you do now, which I know is part of the project working on, which is making money online.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think let's talk about that because I think it would be really key for us to understand I'm a sales rep working for a company, but having my presence online will generate sales to me. And I think a lot of them don't understand that because I could be working for any company, but if I have my own presence online saying, just talking about what I do for my company on my own website and how simple it is to set up. So give me a little more insight in that because for me, that's something I think I'm definitely interested in and I'm sure the audience is interested in understanding how easy it is to do.
Okay, so essentially, as a personal brand, you want to have your own website
Right.
that represents you, just you. It's not about the company.
Right.
But as people read more about you, they're going to understand, okay, they work for this company or they have this business. So your
Okay.
business entity is what happens in the background,
Right.
and you are the person that is leading. So you're leading with your face,
Okay.
essentially, right? And then people get to know who you are as a person, a brand, okay, they like your vibe, because we all have something unique about us that will connect with a certain sector of people,
Correct.
right? So you might obviously attract men or people who are, or women who have more of a masculine personality. You know, everybody has their niche
Correct.
and their style, and that's what you want to bring forward to your website. Now your website is going to connect all of your different systems
Right.
and processes. So whether that's setting up a call, whether that's reading your blog, you have like maybe an indie media page that would cover all of your work being like your content. Okay, I wrote in this article, I spoke at this event, I was in the Express, covered this feature. Because when you have all these different things out there floating, your website is your hub where people can know everything about you. Whereas on social media, you have to jump to LinkedIn, jump to Instagram,
Jump to this,
Facebook,
jump to that.
jump to YouTube.
And, oh no, Instagram is down today, so I can't see it.
Then there's
That's
that,
correct, yeah.
right? But then your website, you could always go there, and then you're using your website now as a way to build your list of people, your audience. So you can always keep in contact with them, whether WhatsApp is down, whether the networks crash. Like, you must diversify. I tell people to think of your mailing list like your list of contacts.
Correct.
You see how we in the industrial age, your contact list is so important to
Yes.
sales reps.
Yep.
Then in the digital age, you should be building your email list.
Yep. That's what we're working on.
Well, there are two areas of thought there with that, right? So one is the salesperson's apprehension to really have that presence online for themselves. So exactly what you mentioned there in terms of, okay, yes, I'm a sales rep and I'm working with this particular company, so I don't think I need to have my own
But
page.
that's the problem, that the first thing is they need to get out of the mindset of hiding behind the company.
That's correct.
And building your own name.
That's correct.
Yep.
So that you have your own personal portfolio. So when people ask you, what have you built for yourself? You have something to show.
Right. And here's the other part of it. The other part is that now I've seen organizations develop a social media policy for the employees. One that says, well, yeah, there's a particular protocol and stuff like that. But why would it be important? Because one of the clients that I'm doing some work with now, I'm actually encouraging them to have more of the staff put stuff out there on social media, because of course you have. Just give us a.
Sounds familiar, no? See? That's. You'll get a.
Oh my god.
Yes, see? Yes.
Most
Alright,
them for the spinners are waka man, right? Anyway, right? But having more people talking about your brand, especially from within the organization, builds more of the brand presence, especially because of the fact now all of these individuals, they have their own following, whether it's their friends and their family. Why would that be important to an organization? From your standpoint, why would that be important to an organization as it relates to having your employees or your staff really work towards, helping get your brand out there?
Okay, well, once you keep this person on your team, that they bring a lot of value to you because they build their name rather than just the company itself.
Right.
And really and truly, it more benefits you as the individual to build your brand, because the fact is, they can let you go at any time. The
correct.
company can go down at any time. Look at what happened with Clickoo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Things are happening. This is your insurance.
Right.
So it's not so much about the company themselves. Yes, you want to service
But
them,
more so about
but it gives you more leverage
Yeah.
to build your brand and
And I
more
think that's a really
security.
strong point. That last point that it says not so much so about the company, but more so about your own individual brand as a salesperson.
Would love your thoughts on this. Justin, shout out to Justin, has an excellent catering business. He says, I'm not sure how many of the younger people coming up really take email marketing and websites seriously though. The up and coming consumers and entrepreneurs are more social media savvy.
Actually, that's quite the opposite. Because they are younger, they are more technologically inclined and savvy, and
Right.
they are more open to the websites.
Because
And because they're more savvy, they are more want to
they
dabble
would search
in.
and look for everything.
They will search, they will dabble, They want to build their own platform.
Because I have this weird thing. Last year before, I remember meeting some guy who was in insurance, and he was just talking to me and having a general conversation. And when I searched for him, I couldn't find him anywhere. I couldn't find him on his company website, on any social media platform, couldn't even find his name on Facebook. And then I was like, great, I wrote you off. Then it was because he knew London. Then I was like, okay, you have like a 5%, but at the same time, I have no trust.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because and
You need to be Googleable.
and then here's the reason to Justin. What I think is going to happen now, which I think is really, really important, having a website is going to be a benchmark. Like how you have a degree, it's going to be a benchmark for everybody individually in terms of their credibility. So like some people literally be like, depending on their role, if I can't find a website for you, not your Instagram page, you lose points. And I think that's why you need to have it.
From everybody else, because as again, so many people don't really think about a website. They will eventually when it gets more mainstream locally. But abroad, if you can't say I'm the expert in something, you don't have something as basic as a website. A website is a basic thing. It's only something that is usually a newish concept to people here.
And
it's mainly because a lot of misconceptions and being able to get one up and running is due to expense. And then once I explain to people how a website and social media works together, then they understand. I can't use social media as my website.
Nope.
And then social media is changing every single day.
And as Karen here, I'm seeing Karen here, and he will testify to you. Here's a reasoning why.
We can't trust you.
Yeah, you have to be Googleable
exactly.
in 2019.
You have to be Googleable, and the really way to be Googleable is to have your website, work on your SEO and your search rankings.
Talk done. I was telling London on the way down here. I remember in one of the social media groups, I think it's Dynamic Business, Adana's group.
Yeah.
I remember a time she posted asking everybody, hey, share what your business is and where we could find you. And 95% of the persons put a Facebook link.
Yeah.
And I remember just messaging in the group saying, if I had the money, I'll buy a domain.
Yeah, so then you technically own and shut the business.
Because when that's at, and I'll give
and this
everybody.
is the thing people do, like they buy domains
So
and
we
if
sell
you
it.
ask and
You have to
sell
buy
it.
it from
And I'll give you the example because
And they sell it back for big money.
Big money,
Big
'cause
money. I keep
immortal
telling
beauty.
everybody, buy your domain, even if
actually
you're not
buy
ready.
a name. Buy a name because I have
That's
my
what I mean,
name.
buy a domain.
Yeah.
Domain is a name.
Name.
And even if you're not ready to build your
Individual
website,
name or company name, just buy it.
buy your domain, keep it in your back pocket for safekeeping.
It's like 13 US
This
and
is your
GoDaddy.
brand name. That's how you secure your brand name.
It's 13 US guys. You know,
It fluctuates. It could be as little as $2, $3, $4.
nah, I take it on 3 years, so that's worry about it. It's like just buy
but
it
sometimes
and
they
done.
have sales on different domains, and
But
it's
just take
usually
it.
never more than $20.
Never. And the thing is, think about what you just spent 120 TT on. Stop being ridiculous and just buy a domain and keep
They
it.
go on to it right now.
And Immortal, I don't know if you know this local product, Immortal Beauty.
Yeah.
I remember her talking about it took her 3 years to buy her domain because she forgot to buy it. And what she had was Immortal TT. And so many of you have that as a website, so and so TT.
Yeah.
Why? Because they didn't buy a
I
domain up front.
personally have a pet peeve for people just latching on TT because it limits you and gives people the impression that
So
you
you
only
only for
operate
yeah,
correct.
in this
Correct.
local
Trinidad and Tobago.
market.
Yep.
We need to think regionally on the first level.
The internet made the world flat. Think
And then,
international.
yeah, you have to think international, but for the very least, think regionally if you can't think that big yet.
Yep.
You know?
So trust me, you might think it, and the thing is, I always say, and I think I told you, and I was telling Sean, in terms of your website, when I say things like website, my website right now, it's off, I'm just going to put back a video. So all you get is a landing page me saying what I do,
And that's
it.
effective because
Simple.
people with a video, they can get your tone of voice, they get a feel of your personality and your vibe. That would do a lot more than a whole page of words and pictures,
And that is it, yeah.
which is fine. But if you just have a little one page, just tell people about you, there's a little introduction, this is what I do, you know, your elevator pitch, connect with me below, get them on your mailing list, give them something for free, and yeah.
So,
And then as time goes by, you build out a first, second page, and so forth and so forth.
how much money you think, like just based on your estimation, people miss out in terms of not being online properly?
I can't really say how much money, but you are losing opportunities.
Well, I could, the way that I would attempt to answer that is not really so much by a dollar figure, but one of the biggest gaps I've seen that entrepreneurs make, because I get the opportunity to talk to some upcoming startups, is that initially they haven't really mapped out their market size and potential.
Right.
Right? So they would be able to tell you as to how much that is, but I would definitely say that it's a lot of money because of the fact that I have also seen where if I had to use myself as an example, and I think you could also use yourself as an example as well, people reach out to you for business.
Yep.
Yeah. So if at this early stage people are reaching out to you for business, whatever that business is, just try to multiply that by 5 or 10. As to in relation as to, okay, I'm getting requests for business, or at least to have a discussion now. What is that going to be worth in the next year or two once I continue? And if I'm not doing it, then whatever that loss is, whatever you're losing on it now. So, but it's a lot of money, especially if you don't want to understand what your market size and potential is, and if you don't have presence, then the answer is going to be 0.
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't have presence. So basically what Cassia and Jared is really saying is that you need to be present in some way, form or fashion, not just as an employee for the organization or as an entrepreneur. If you're a solopreneur, you need to be really out there, building your brand, putting your presence out there, because one, it builds trust. It makes the whole sell game a lot easier because people already know.
It builds a lot of trust.
And it does 2 things, guys. It makes your outbound reach easier, because there have been instances where I've been able to refer people to certain things that I would have done, whether it was an article that I wrote, or when I reach out to people already had an idea because they would have seen something from before, right? And so it gives you both inbound traffic and outbound traffic, and that's really and truly what you want in your business, because your brand is that developed or is developing.
Simple.
Very well said.
So, I don't know what Bo's going to say to wrap it up. I don't know if you guys have any questions either, just to shoot some more questions.
Have any questions?
Yes, if you have any questions, please let us know. Hey Jane, good morning. Indie Consultant Justin as well, thank you for your questions. But yeah, for me, what I look at it as, and again, which I think a lot of people don't realize, I think a lot of people don't want to build their brand because the biggest thing for them they don't want to take is the time to do it.
Yeah.
They always say they don't have the time, but they have the time, they just don't want to do it. And you're never
Building
going
your
to get
brand
immediate
takes
returns.
time, but it will solidify you in your market. And as a personal brand, it solidifies you in general, because you have leverage now to change markets, change industries, and shift, because people trust you and you've built a strong reputation.
Oh, I have a
Exactly.
question.
So just now,
I'll go after the
Creative Rooms is asking, can you use your landing page until you build your website? Your landing page is your website.
Yes.
So
I was
once
not
you have
gonna
that,
say-
yeah.
A landing page, once it's a one page, it's a website.
Yeah.
Whether you call it a landing page or a sales page or a one page website, it's all essentially technically the same thing. They just have different purposes sometimes.
I don't know.
It was off! No, it should be on. They won't hear you. They won't hear you. You're safe. You're safe.
Yeah, there's my mic.
No,
there's
his one is the one that you have to
Yeah, we
actually
can
switch it on. Sorry, we just realized our mic wasn't on. But I said
That's alright, that's alright.
Don't worry. One of these will record it good and we'll be safe. But yeah. But and trust me, to set up a website with just a landing page is
one page is easy.
Easy.
Actually, I'm going to be doing a free webinar teaching people how to do it.
Oh, so we will promote that on our page, on all our pages. My page is Sales
It's to
Profession
demonstrate
and
how
London
easy
page.
it is. You can do it yourself and just get one page up after you buy that domain, and
that's
you're
it.
good to go.
So here's a question, and it is a question that I was kind of back and forth with a couple of times. So me being 1 year old in the business, the company is Opatsui, but I am also Lyndon Bradford, right? So it's in
I think I
extension
had
to
this
brand,
question yesterday.
right? So how do I or any other, let's say Creative Rooms is there as well, right? How is it, or what would be the benefit of both Lyndon Bradford promoting himself as part of the organization, or should I just let the organization do its own branding? And if you understand where I'm coming from, because I think sometimes one of my biggest tussles was, okay, I am actually Opatsui because the values and everything else is coming from me, right? So do I share it on my personal page? Do I share it on the company page? How do I balance the two in terms of content? It's just a matter of really getting the right flow in terms of how do I now balance me, the
How the
individual,
structure is.
and also the same thing for the company.
Okay, so everybody's going to vary, right?
Correct.
So really and truly, Lyndon Bradford should be a public figure page as the business.
Right.
But if it's currently under the business name, that's okay. You are showing up on your business page with
Right.
content. And then you share it back to your personal page, because you'll get a different level of engagement according to the topic, whether it's on the business page or the personal page, and you find a balance between posting and both. It's kind of like when you post something on Facebook and you post it on Instagram for that different audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, just share it on both.
And I just asking that because I've actually seen the value. I got some advice from our colleague LaShawn once, and just from even practicing that, I've actually seen where one has actually helped the other.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you have to do testing, trial and error, and see what people respond to the most. So when I first had my business page, I had my business name, the logo, and I was kind of like in the background.
Correct.
But then I realized people connected more with me
That's
rather
correct,
than the logo or the business name.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
anytime people will refer me and I would get tagged in DBS, they always tag me, Cassia Marina, and it would tag my personal page. And I was
Right.
like, oh, why do they keep sending people to my personal page and my business page? And that's when I realized, okay, people are resonating with me as a person.
correct,
yeah.
And that's when I start to see the value of personal branding. And I changed my business page name, as you would have
Right,
seen.
yeah.
I put Cassia Marina, and then I put my alias, the brand.
Correct.
Now, not everybody has to put on that attachment at the end, but I just put that to make it easy for people to find me and make the connection.
between
And then eventually I'll phase out the brand and then I'll just do Cassia Marina.
And the reason why I'm asking that as well is because that kind of ties back in terms of how we started as to why the individual brand, again, as a salesperson, is so important because people connect. Just telling you from what I have experienced, as much as our patrios out there, people still connect with the Linden Bradford. People
Yes.
connect with the salesperson of the
Yes.
organization because guess what? This is the person that's giving me the message. When something goes wrong or when I need to get a question answered, you call the sales rep.
You see,
So
in
if-
this in this age,
Yep.
millennials and the way people buy and purchase is different.
Right.
People want to connect with the person behind the brand. They want to know who you are, what your values are, what you stand for. So let's say the owner of Starbucks is vegan or something. They will have a strong, people connect with him. Oh yes, I like what he's about.
that's
He's about the
relatable.
environment.
Exactly.
It's
That is
about
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier, everybody has their own unique style,
Right.
flair, things that they
Everything.
stand for. You know, so even if it may not be relative to your business, it's okay to speak about things going on in the world and around you because people are going to resonate. You know, I like him
Yeah.
for this, and then they will be like, oh, but he has this kind of business. I'm going to go show him support, and it kind of sends you down a rabbit hole. People need to know you, the brand.
So that's the point I wanted to flesh out from that question. That at the end of the day, the same way we started, it's the same way we maybe want to try to wrap up. That you need to be able to pinpoint yourself when something goes wrong in an organization. 99% of the time, the customer calls who? The sales person.
Yeah.
Or the
Understand?
people, not the
They
company.
always
They-
connect.
Who are they speaking to?
Exactly.
The company isn't a person.
That is why your brand, your trustworthiness, your reliability, everything is as a sale. Because again, because this is sales as a profession, right?
Yep.
So we're tying everything back to that. You must have a brand that speaks one to the organization, but two to yourself in terms of your level of integrity, your skill set, and everything else. So just keep that in mind, guys. That people want to do business with, as that old Tattle line says, people are people.
Yeah,
at
people
Tattle,
are people.
right? So people connect with people, and then of course those people then connect with the organization, right? You are a representation of yourself, of course, and then you're a bigger representation to the organization. So really work on developing your brand and everything that makes up that in terms of what your core values are, and you should definitely see an increase in your business. I'm gonna say this before this noisy man.
Same noise man, no, same noise man. They do. No, but Justin is actually saying he found that he needs to be more at his restaurant because customers identify him as being there. And I
Yeah.
remember
You know Tisha, right?
Yeah.
Tisha organizing all this stuff,
Correct.
right?
Right.
People always ask me, I want to see Tisha at the event, and she's like, look, I can't be at
I
three
can't be at every
locations.
event, yeah.
And
I
at the
think
same
also
time, you
Kristen
need to
said the
trust
same
my
thing.
team.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Kristen said the same thing to me as once, where she said a lot of times customers want to know that they're talking to him, and I've actually seen it before, like even for big guys like Grant Cardone, where sometimes he has to step into a call because sometimes the customer
The customer will talk to Grant.
will hear his voice and then are ready to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know it legit.
And that's how strong that personal branding is.
So
You can't-
trust me.
It's
Good morning, Vanilla Soft. Vanilla Soft is my favorite people, by the way. Got an amazing bag from them. They're my equipment supplier, I would basically say. I got my gimbal from them, and I also that beautiful bag on the side. Where is it?
So behind
It's behind this one here, yes. So good morning, the team at Vanilla Soft. I hope to see you all at Outbound in April. I'm sure. Yes.
So to sum up, well, just to add
Yeah.
to how you would structure, say, for personal brand, you'll have, lindenbradford.com. You have all of your services and what your company offers, but you are presenting it as Linden Bradford, right? And then by the time you sit down, you have a consultation, sign contract. Then they will see your logo, your letterhead. Down in the footer, you would have the name of your company, limited. That's how the company and the personal branding
Connected.
bridges.
So
And
say that again one more time.
You can only do that with your website. You can't convey that on your social media as easily.
Right.
Say that again one more time. I think that was like the most important thing, because that to me, that shocked me.
Yeah.
Say it again one more time. I love that.
Alright, so your personal brand will be reflected in your name, the name
Right.
of your domain,
Right.
and then you have your about me. In the about me, you talk about you, your company, and etc. But you are presenting the services page, and then down below in the footer, that's where your business name will show up. When they come to do business with you and you talk, you have your contract, you have your consultation. That's when
Comes
you
up,
see,
right.
yes, it will come up in your letterhead, etc.
Brilliant.
I love it.
That's what I mean by your business is in the background.
Okay.
Then
Right.
you're in the
Love
forefront.
it.
Yes.
So that's basically what happens with salespeople.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
guys,
how it applies in your
Brilliant.
own business.
Cassia, thank you so much. I have one thing for you.
Right in.
Yes.
I know you're a coffee person just like me.
Thank you so much.
So I got you some coffee.
Oh, thank you.
And I think it's gonna be
Pink.
new. And it's pink, yeah, you see? Pay attention to the colors.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So
Thank you so
it
much.
tastes good as a brew. I tried it out earlier this week. It's excellent. So guys, thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to message Cassia. Where can they find you?
On Instagram, as though you all on Instagram, _ branding queen.
Right.
Website brandingqueen.me.
Right?
Right.
And on Facebook, it's Cassia Marina, the branding queen. Just search the branding queen anywhere
You'll
and
find
you'll
it.
find me.
Lovely.
Cassia, this was valuable for me, as well as everybody else. So
It's
thank you so much,
amazing.
and for pulling it together in such short notice.
Yes, so we thank you.
You're
We
most welcome.
literally,
Thanks for
when you
having
message
me
you like
again.
Saturday morning, right?
It was Friday.
Friday night.
Evening.
Yeah, so
Evening.
thank you so much for just doing it so
And
quickly
the
for
video
us.
was hilarious today.
Yeah. Now, because we was hype coming up for everything on Friday, so that is why. So yeah, I was just making sure that we could have put everything together, because so much thought was pumping in my head, and I said I'm gonna make sure Sunday instead of us set another day. So yes. So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another episode.
Peace.